'Twas the night before Christmas, and in a small house, a young girl was sitting in bed with her mouse. "Oh, Mr. Nibbles," she said with a sigh, carefully brushing a tear from her eye, "nobody likes me. They all call me names. They never invite me to play in their games. I wish that this Christmas the others would see the true and dependable friend I could be." Later that evening, up near the North Pole, an army of elves had completed their goal, a mountain of presents, all wrapped up with joy. For every good child, a wonderful toy. Now one little elf entered Santa's abode, slumped, as if bearing a terrible load. But all that he carried, held tight in his fist, was a thick roll of paper. 'Twas Santa's long list.
"Good evening, my friend," Santa said with a smile. "Your work's at an end, won't you stay for a while? Relax by the fire, you've struggled so long. And yet you look troubled, whatever is wrong?"
The tiny elf trembled and stared at the floor. "The children," he started, but said nothing more.
"Oh, come now,"
said Santa, approaching the elf.
"How bad can it be? Let me see for myself."
Santa looked at the list and his face became red. Steam seemed to rise from the top of his head. Of all the world's children, not one had been nice. Just to make sure, Santa checked the list twice. Alice in Dallas had started a fight. Pio in Rio had stayed up all night. Nellie in Delhi had yelled at her mother. Sherma in Burma fed worms to his brother. "I can't understand it," the little elf said, nervously shifting the hat on his head. "What shall we do now that Christmas is nigh?"
"Harness the reindeer," was Santa's reply, "and leave all the presents right here at the pole. I want the sleigh loaded with buckets of coal. My patience is finished. What children, what nerve! This Christmas I'll bring them the thing they deserve."
A terrible blizzard blew down from the north, bringing bad tidings on this 24th. It came as a whisper, then grew to a roar that rattled each window and battered each door. People retreated and hid in their homes. They tiptoed and whispered as quiet as gnomes. They shuttered their windows and bolted their doors and sealed up their chimneys with boulders and boards. Then came a break in the storm's angry rush. The town was engulfed in an ominous hush. And through it, the tinkle of sleigh bells was heard. No one dared mutter or utter a word. Santa stared down as he soared through the night. He saw that the chimneys were boarded up tight. Then he espied, on the far side of town, one that was open, so Santa swept down. The sleigh hit the roof in a chorus of jingles. Each little hoof could be heard on the shingles. The sound woke a girl who declared to her mouse, "Mr. Nibbles, Kris Kringle has come to our house." They flew down the staircase and shot past the tree. They rushed to the fireside, hearts filled with glee. Then Santa appeared in the hearth with a crash and stepped from the fireplace, covered in ash. The little mouse snarled at this stranger in black. The little girl squeaked, and she took a step back. "Santa?" she stammered, unsure what to do. "I have milk and cookies. I made them for you."
"Why are you up?"
Santa asked with a frown. "I wanted to see you," she said, looking down.
Santa harumphed and asked, "What is your name?"
The little girl murmured, "I'm Molly McCabe." Santa considered. He pulled out his list. Could it be there was a child he'd missed? He flipped through the J's and the K's and the L's. He searched through the M's until his eyes fell on the name of the youngster before whom he stood. And lo and behold, little Molly was good. One sweet little girl in a world that was rotten. Instantly, all of his wrath was forgotten.
"What gift would you like?" Santa asked with a grin. "A crown, or a gown, or a gold violin? A pair of glass slippers with platinum tassels? A trip on a ship bound for faraway castles?"
"Thank you," said Molly. "I have one request, a present more splendid than all of the rest. I see from your list many children were bad, and I understand that you're terribly mad, but today it is Christmas, the one time of year when all should be merry and full of good cheer. This date marks the birth of a glorious child, a boy who was gentle, not wicked or wild. He brought us a message by which we should live. He taught us it's best if we learn to forgive. The children are sorry, as surely you see, so please, Mr. Kringle, forgive them for me." Santa was silent, for Molly was right. He shouldn't be harsh with the children tonight. But then he was struck with a terrible fear. A clock on the wall showed that Christmas was near.
"Heavens!" cried Santa. "The night is half through. There's so little time left and so much to do."
"Don't worry," said Molly. "We'll fly in your sleigh. Together we'll give all the presents away." So up through the chimney the three of them climbed. Sleigh bells soon jingled and steeple bells chimed, and Santa exclaimed as they sailed out of sight,
"Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
The Girl Who Saved Christmas, available at Amazon.com. To see more, go to mollychristmas.com.